Hey guys, welcome back. Richie here from RW Hobbies. Today we're going to take a look inside the box of Tamiya's latest release, the brand new F-14A Late Edition. Hey guys, welcome back. So again, we're going to look at this beautiful kit. We've seen this many times before. I've built it many times before. It's the Tamiya F-14A, which is widely regarded as probably the best 48 scale modern fighter jet kit you can get and build. It's so enjoyable. I built several of these, even done a 11-part build series on my channel back in June, and I'll put a link below so you can access that, where I went in great detail building it. I did the Wolfpack markings, the VF1. This one is an upgraded, like, later version A. So what does that mean? There's a few little changes. So different weapons, some pods different. I think the pilot figures, different type of helmets. Yeah, basically an upgraded, like, later A version. And what happens is you actually get like a cool diorama set. So you actually get the figure, you get the base, which is kind of like paper or cardboard, which you can mount on something, and you create this whole like little catapult diorama. The main thing is people complain with the original version that the wings were molded and set like with the flaps up. Here you actually have the options. You can actually drop the flaps. Well, I don't think you have the option. I think you have to have the flaps dropped. So you can't have the wings swept back. You have to have it in the catapult configuration pretty much, or I think you might get a choice of gear, so you can have it just like parked with the flaps and stuff down too, if that's where you want to go. But it's about $10 more than the normal kit. I think it's worth it for what you get inside it. I think you also get, I noticed, a mask set for the intakes. I don't think they were in the early edition of the kit. I think that's a new edition. But it's a great kit. It came out 2016 originally, the A version. 2018 they brought out the D version, and now 2021 they're bringing out an upgraded A late model. Again, beautiful kit. Now, I've built it before the VF1. I've also built it in aggressive colors, and I've got it right here. This is from 2017, I think, so my model skills have increased quite a lot since then, but I think it turned out really good. So just figure out where to hold this thing. Yeah, you go like this, probably best. So I'm really happy it turned out, but I'll hold this up because I want to give you an idea of the size. So obviously the wings and the catapult configuration will be the same as this, so it's going to be that big. And an F-14 is a pretty big beast in 48 scale. So if you're going to build this, that's the size it's going to turn out to be. Again, I was really happy how this one turned out. I built this several years ago, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a joy to build. I built several of these. I can just build them all day long. Great kits. This one's pretty much out of the box, I believe, as well. So yeah, there you go. That's going to be the size of it. Again, you can see the wings here, the flaps and slats. See, they're molded like that in that position. And obviously in this kit, they're going to be deployed in the lower. Cool. So enough waffling for me. Let's go ahead, split the camera, and take a look at what's inside the box. Okay, so here it is. This is my second time doing it. So I filmed it the first time, and for whatever reason, the sound didn't kind of capture. So I'm not sure what happened. So I'm filming again. So all the bags are opened. I've done it already. So I'm doing it a second time. So all right, no problem. So let me just kind of touch a few things. I'm not going to go through every single bag and every single sprue because we've done it in so much detail before. I've done a full 11-part video build series I mentioned in June on my channel, and link will be below if you want to check it out for the Wolfpack markings. So I've built this kit in detail, done reviews of this kit about 2 years ago on the channel, also compared it to the AMK kit too. I did a video a very long time ago on the channel. So covered this in a lot of details. I don't think we need to go for every single sprue and make this a 45-minute video. I'll kind of just touch upon the new stuff. So here's a beautiful box art. And you can see here, you got the Catapult Officer. I think it's a shooter. I think it's the same thing. Yep, shooter. Right there, you get the figure. You got the jet. You got the lowered kind of the nose gear on the catapult, and you got the deck kind of diorama. But you don't have like this guy, the blast shield thing behind it. You just have the flat base. And going around the box, we've got the flying commanding officer's aircraft of the fighting jet makes, which looks very nice. Do like the tail art, and you see there we've got some different weapons in this one. We've got some paveways, and a tarps pod, which I believe wasn't in the first edition of the kit. Again, it's a later version of the A, which is like late 90s, I think. And I'm seeing if there's a kit number on here. I don't quite see it yet. I'm sure I'm missing it. Then the other side of the box, we get two other markings. We got the Swordsman, January '89. So again, like late 90s, and this is 2003, so this is pretty recent. This is a Black Knight Commanding Officer's aircraft, looking very nice too. Now, again, I'm going to open the box, but I've gone through this already, so a lot of this stuff's going to be opened. And it's not necessarily going to be how it looks when you open it yourself. So first we've got packable instructions, which we'll look at in detail, and then we've got all the sprues. And right off the bat, you can see the lovely top sprue here is way different. Rather than that big molded wing sections, we got separate flaps and slats. And a sneak peek at the bottom here, you see the deck. Cool, so we'll look at it all. Let me kind of drag the box out of the way, and we'll start going through this once again. And off the bat, you can see here we have a correction. So looking like a couple of stickers on page 15, step 33, the wrong way around. So it's just showing you rather than going backwards, it's going to go facing forwards. Okay, and there's the item number 61122. And as always, got all Tamiya colors on here. Still in XFs. Oh, there are some LPs here too. So rather than the old school using dark and light ghost grey using AS colors, now I've got the LPs, which are lacquer paints, the LP 36 and 37s, the lacquer in the pots, which are really nice paints. Although the light ghost grey looks very bluey. I don't know. Some people say it's kind of accurate to when it comes out of the factory, but for me it looks a little bit too blue for my liking. Right now I'm more into the guns, lacquer, light ghost grey, or the MLP is a really good one too. Alright, so we'll look at these in more detail in a minute. We've got basically 4 different versions you can do. The cockpit tub I think is slightly different. I think a couple of switches and stuff different to the earlier version. And going through again I'm just going to kind of pick out the parts I believe are different. I think the wing spar is slightly different shape. It goes in the same way. All this is the same. I think the gun vent panel here is different. There's different versions. So if you're using, well, there's actually 3 different versions in this kit. So if you're using A, you can use this guy, B14, B, you can use U47, M24 for C or D variants. Depending which variant you're using, you can pick the appropriate gun vent. When I built my Wolfpack VF1, I did the earlier one, I had to use a phase hanger resin aftermarket set. So here it's actually get them all in a kit, which is very nice. And nice to keep for your spares too. If you keep the spares in your box, because if you ever build one of these in the future, you might need to, need one of these panels. Okay, going through, this is all the same stuff as before. Don't change it here. This, I believe, is different. I don't remember being decals for the marking out the interiors. I think this is a nice touch. So I believe before I'd use masking tape and masked off myself, but to get that kind of line between the white and the grey, it's a nice little mask set here, which is really kind of cool. This is all the same, the intakes, nozzles the same. We do have a slight, I think this is different too, I believe we got different tails here, tail sections, the beaver tail and stuff. We got, if you're doing B, you got D25, and then A, C, and D using M11. So I believe M is the new sprue, so M is a new part. And again, this is a new part here. Look, nose gear, either you got it in normal, which is obviously what you normally get in the kit, or you got the takeoff start catapult kind of configuration where it's kind of more compressed down with the catapult kind of joined onto it, the plastic. So again, this is new part. Going through here, I believe that is a new pod. I don't remember that one on the old one. Main gear is the same. Phoenix pallets. Then we've got some pylons, again, just taking care of which version you're doing. Again, so obviously the normal A kit we have, it's an older version, like late 70s, early 80s. There weren't laser guided bombs and kind of per se like what you got now. So this is the difference. You got laser guided bomb loadout, you got general bombs, and as you go here, you got the paveways, GBU 12 paveway 2s and 3, that's GBU 16s. These are new, and I'm looking at the kit just a minute ago. Obviously, I've done it's my second time doing this. They do look very nicely molded, and they'll be great for your spares. So even if you aren't using those on this kit, definitely keep those, because for other jets you're going to build, they'll be nice additions. Tarts pod, I believe it's definitely a new addition. I don't remember that. And again, that's the M sprue. So anything M here, I believe, is definitely new parts in this kit. And again, look at nice detail in there too. the lantern targeting pod. I think that was in the old kit, pretty sure. And I did notice in the plastic there was a one of those aggressor pods too. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not in here. So it's in the plastic, but it's not in its instructions. So you can, like, so my aggressor I have over there, I forgot which one it is, my bad, but it's definitely not here. Okay. Then moving on to seats. I did have resin seats. I think if you don't, this is pretty much built straight out the box. It's kind of expensive kit, but you get the mask set. It's really nicely molded. You don't read any extras, but I did have resin seats. But if you can do it in a catapult configuration with the pilot figures, you don't obviously need to worry about resin seats. These will be fine. Pilot figures look pretty good. The visors are down, this is a new. These are new molded. In the other kit, they had the visor up, so it's slightly different sculpts in the pilots. And you do get both sets in the box. You actually get 4 pilots in the kit. Again, you get the mask set. It's not die cut. You do need to cut it out yourself, but no big deal. And here's the new page 2 again. So sprue T. Here's all the leading edge slats and the flaps with a nice little detail here. Again, putting them all together. The wings 1 and 2, so left and right. And then going on, the nice thing about this kit is they don't attach. You can just slide them on and off. So for transportation or just storage, make things a little smaller, you take the wings off. And then 49, you actually see how it's going to be laid out. So you got the base with the guy here, your catapult officer. You got the aircraft ready to go, and the color callouts and stuff, which is a nice touch. And that is it. So as you can see, it's about $10 more than the other kit, but you got some nice little upgrades in here. It's a little bit different. Again, I could build these all day long. I love these kits. Let me empty out this bag stuff. And another nice thing getting this kit too is, well, first you get the generic assembly, how to build a kit. To be honest with you, if I was a complete beginner, I probably wouldn't build this kit. You'd have no problems building it, but just for the price, I think if you just hone your skills on cheaper kits first, and once you can airbrush competently, it's a hard word to say tonight, you can probably take advantage of this. But it's an expensive kit for somebody who's just starting out, but you would have no problem assembling it. Just getting your worth with the paint and stuff. But some tips nonetheless. Background information. This is really cool. I looked at this earlier on. So this is just an old flyer here, and it explains kind of this kit, kind of normal stance, takeoff stance, flat positions, and then again the jet blast effector, and then how it kind of the takeoff process. So it kind of really talks you through this kit and how it's all configured and stuff, which is really nice, with some like a couple of pictures and good information. So again, nice little booklet to read through. And as always with Tamiya, you get nice color callouts. So A is going to be from 1990, Oceana, the Cagbird from the VF-32 Swordsman, looking very nice. B is a Swordsman also from 89, and this is a low-vis regular version compared to the Cagbird. Very cool. I kind of like, personally I like this one, C, the Checkmates. And this is Commanding Officer's aircraft from 2004. So again, it's pretty late, and that's VF-211. The only concern we'll look at in a minute with this one is I like to paint this bit, not use decal. I like to paint it, mask it, and paint it black. But then the way it's done is that these are actually decals, and the names and stuff are all part of the decals. So I think it's hard to cut that out. You're gonna have to probably go with a decal, unfortunately. The same for this version too, I believe. Which is D, which is Black Knights in 2003, it's like Japan. That's a nice aircraft too, the Commanding Officer's aircraft. F-14 is such a beautiful kit. But yeah, so that's the very nice looking markings. And again, with this kit, there's millions of markings out there to your heart desires, like aftermarket decals, pretty much any single F-14 you want, you can build. There's so many choice out there. So first off the bat, I don't think you got this in the other kit, but this is basically wing sweep, the wear decals, where it kind of sweeps up and back. For me, it looks a little bit toy-like and not very, I know, I wouldn't use this. I'd weather it myself with some oils and stuff, but if you want to use decals, they're here. Again, they're to pick, like kind of this, where it sweeps and, inside the wing. Mast set is not cut out. I'm not sure why Tamiya do keep doing that. They do cut them out for the car kits, so I'm not sure why these aren't die cut, but nevertheless, it's nice to conclude it, and it's pretty simple shapes to cut out. You got the intakes too, and you got a couple of nice little kind of metallic kind of parts here. It looks like for the pods. Okay, moving along with decals. These are mostly going to be for your ordnance. And if I remember rightly with this kit, I might be completely wrong, but I know with the F-4B they released, they didn't get any stencil markings. You have to buy those separately. Here, yeah, maybe the same with this one. I don't know if it's an aftermarket set or not. You have to pay for, but I don't see many. There's a few here and there, but there's not many stencil markings. Here's more low-vis markings, typical Tamiya. And more the high-vis ones. Again, Tamiya, so it's going to be thick, and this is what I talked about. The names, unfortunately, the names are blended into these decals, and the same for here too. So rather than me paint it myself, I think I'm going to be forced to actually use the decals. But see there, and then here is again the names are actually, rather than separate decals, are mixed in with the color. But yep, good colors. A little bit thick, but you know what to expect with Tamiya. Is what it is. Again, there's millions of different aftermarket stuff you can get. Cool. So going for the plastic. Again, I'm not going through every single bag, but we'll pick out the highlights here of the new stuff. Here's the new wing sections. So again, rather than having the whole big section, you got them molded separately, the flaps and slats. Very, very fine recessed markings and beautiful done. This bag is going to be exact same from the other kit. Just the intakes and tails. Again, same from the other kit, no section and some fuselage parts. Where this joins here, there's supposed to be a slight step, so don't sand it down. There's supposed to be a slight seam line and a very small step where this goes together, so this slots into the back here, so it's supposed to be like that. I know when I first built the kit for the first time, I was got the sander out and trying to smooth it out and stuff. Okay, this one's the different sprue, so I think the wing spar is slightly different, and here's your figure for the Catapult Officer. Quite crisp, but again, it's not as good as the resin one. I'm sure like Reed Oak do a really good one you could probably use. And there's your upgraded gear, obviously the catapult kind of takeoff configuration. Some new instrument panels, obviously for the late version. Some different switches and stuff. And I know Quinta Studios do quite a nice set for the like 3D printed instrument panels. And there's one of your gun vent panels there. Various parts. Okay, these are the same Phoenix missiles, nothing to see there. It's like the same as in the other kit. And same with this cockpit tub. It's nice because the panels are all separate, so it makes it a little bit easier to paint, and then you can kind of bring it all together. This is a new sprue M. Looks like we have a couple of different exhaust nozzle parts. This is what I mentioned, where it's not in the instructions, but that's the aggressor kind of pod, right? And then you got the tarts pod looking very nice, all the detail. Again, beautiful. Hopefully the camera picks it up, but like the recessed markings and the rivets and stuff on there. And there's another panel right here, so different tail, back end. Again, this would be very, very handy to keep in your spares box. This one's exactly the same. Nozzles, looked a little bit crude and plastic, but actually once they go together pretty well. And I've built a few of these, and I don't see the need to spend money and get an aftermarket nozzle set for $30. I think this is more adequate. It's like stabilizers and the old pilot figures. So it's like which ones are they? They look the same. I think maybe it's a different helmet in the newer one. So you got two pilot figures here. This is exactly the same sprue as the other kit. This is the gear bays. Okay, this sprue is slightly different, more weapons. So I don't believe there was paveways on there, so GBUs. So these are definitely new, and these are really nicely molded as well. Be great for your spares box if you don't use them on this aircraft. Plenty of options, and there's your other figure. Again, see, I think the helmet slightly different, the more modern late version. So you do have to get 4 figures, 4 pilot figures. Match pair, so you obviously got 2 of those. Cloth fuselage part, again, we don't need to look over that, same as before. Again, beautiful detail. And clear parts. Again, looked at them before. And that is it for plastic. Now, what's left is this, which is a bag of screws and polycaps, basically for putting the wing pieces on. And in the bottom of the box, we got this guy, a piece of cardboard. See how thin it is? Probably about 3 mil. But it actually looks really nice. So there it is. That's the deck base. So you definitely want to mount it on something, because if you don't, it's going to be, it's not going to hold the weight of the aircraft. It's just very thin cardboard. You want to mount this on a nice piece of, I don't know, foam board or MDF or something, or some kind of thin wood. And yeah, so you can put the aircraft there and mount, glue it down with the catapult, and then put your guy down here, and you got your whole little diorama, and it's really nicely printed. Hopefully you can see, the tie down points are really nicely done. It just looks, see, it's really cool. And it's size wise about the size of my cutting mat, so it's like probably about 18 inches long and about 10 inches wide ish approximately. And it fits perfectly inside the box. And this box, I believe, is the same size as the other F14 boxes. But that is it. So that is the kit. Looks really nice. Several changes, as I mentioned, and you can't go wrong with these kits. They're absolutely beautiful. They go together a joy, and you don't really add much extra. The detail is superb out the box. I do really like the idea of this really nicely printed base and the figure. Hopefully, do more of this kind of stuff. I think it's really cool. So thank you for watching as always. Like I mentioned before, I've got a build series of this kit, of the earlier A version on my channel already. I put it up around about May, June time, and I put a link below. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If so, please consider subscribing and liking, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.